So, Mark, did you see those pictures of the Las Vegas Strip in 1974? Not only do you have the Tropicana in its almost original form, you have your beloved Oyo in its original name, the Hojo, and the marina under construction, which is now part of MGM Grand.
Man, Hojo was like such a big part of this country and that era, and hotels everywhere, restaurants. Now there's like nothing left. It's kind of sad to see, but I still can't get over that there was a steamboat essentially on the strip. It looks so cool. In the original Strat, man. Did you see that?
Yeah, the landmark's so cool. There's so many cool pictures. I think he posted like 12 of them on Twitter. I can't show them all, but 1974 Vegas looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah, and there's grass everywhere. It's kind of weird. Big sprawling parking lots. It's an era that I wish we would have got to see a little bit calmer, a little bit, more intimate. It just looks cool, and I'm sure the beer tasted better back then or something.
And mobsters everywhere.
That's why Vegas was great.
Over the last few years, we've seen the death of free parking. Free parking used to be everywhere on the Las Vegas Strip. All of those garages, we talked about those lots in 1974 Vegas. Free parking everywhere on the Strip, and it's gone away. And now Sahara, it looks like, is going to be charging for parking as well. There were some videos and pictures coming out this week of them installing curbs, looking like gates are going to be going in. I hope they only use this for like event parking when they're using the festival grounds or the convention center, but I suspect everybody's going to be paying.
Yeah, I think they were watching our show and they saw that $100 at Circus and we're like, wait, why aren't we getting any of that? Everybody's driving over here and parking and we're getting nothing out of it. So I get it, like you said, I hope it's just for events. I get it when they're having stuff across the street like concerts and everybody's coming in, and those people probably don't go into the casino after or spend any money on property. It's one thing if you use it as a way to get people to come in your door and everything like that. But it's another thing if they're just coming and using your parking and leaving. So I can see it for events, but that's a lot of money to outlay just for those limited type of events that are down there. So I'm with you. I don't think it will be that way. It's just all these people are like, hey, look at all these other places making this money off of parking. We should be doing it too.
So let's talk about the South Point. They released something interesting this week. A $6 million renovation has been finished on their 84 suites. I guess they started it last year. They have over 2,100 rooms at South Point. A lot of people don't know it's that big, but I guess just renovating the suites right now. We saw a few pictures of the concept and what it looks like. Pretty nice, I'd say.
Yeah, I was surprised when I saw the amount of rooms at South Point too, and it was in the notes. I'm like, whoa, that's more than I would have expected. I know it's not a locals casino, but it is a locals casino type of thing. They do get some out of town people staying there, and everybody loves it, but I'm just surprised that they're filling that many rooms. I think this looks good. It's interesting to see, a $6 million renovation when we're so used to like 200 or 400 or $1 billion renovation. And I think they used the money well. I mean, the rooms look nice, not quite strip level finishes, I'd say, but it looks modern. It looks, clean and nice, and the flooring looks good, and the furniture, it's a little bit different. Like we see all these light tones, like light gray, light blue on the Strip, and this is more of what you'd expect elsewhere or like a couple years ago. So I'm kind of liking that it's different than what we see everywhere else.
The South Point rooms are pretty solid. It's been a while since I stayed there. The last time I stayed there was when my air conditioner went out many years ago, but I remember the rooms being big and surprisingly nice, like a 4-star hotel. These suites look pretty good, so I'm happy to see it getting love. You're right, we don't usually see these numbers like $6 million, but it's interesting. We had the El Cortez news on the last show, and these smaller properties are getting their stuff out there so people know it's happening, and good for them. A couple of years ago, I think in 2021, they announced the Evel Knievel Museum was moving to Las Vegas. It's currently in Topeka, Kansas, I believe, and they finally broke ground on this. It's going to be at 1001 South 1st Street in downtown Las Vegas, and it's going to have some cool experiences there, also some restaurants and a coffee shop, but it looks neat, and I think Vegas is a better home than Kansas.
Yeah, Kansas is a weird choice unless the guy that created it lives there. I don't know what the tie is there, but Vegas fits, his most famous jump probably or failed jump, and kind of what put him out there to everybody was the Caesar's Palace jump. So I think it fits really well in that respect. And then Vegas, it just kind of feels Vegas-y, you kind of tie him to Vegas, even though it's not like he lived in Vegas or anything like that. He's not like an Elvis, but it just feels like the right spot for it. I think a lot of it will depend on, how good the coffee shop that's attached and the pizza place. If that brings people in, I think it will do well. I don't know that the museum itself will be enough of a draw, so hopefully those other things kind of all tie together well.
And hopefully we get some evil pie there. I mean, we didn't love it the last time we ate it, but evil pie used to be pretty good and ties in with all of that. So yeah, good. Evel Knievel, Las Vegas. I think the two go together. Excited for this. The building looks nice. And another attraction, another one of these smaller museums, attractions coming to downtown. You know, I think we have the Punk Rock Museum. There's a few others. Kind of cool to see these smaller venues come.
Yeah, I know Mob Museum's a big one that's down that way that a lot of people love. I still need to make it to, but Neon Museum we're going to talk about in a little bit. They have a lot going on down there.
So let's talk about the Neon Museum. They have their Flamingo Ball on May 19th. Tickets are $500 each, so this is to support the Neon Museum. But what's really interesting is there's a silent auction, and you can bid online, so you don't have to go to the ball, spend the $500. There's some cool things in there. There's like a Circa luxury package. There's a Fontainebleau package that includes a really good dinner and all of these different on-property benefits. Westgate even has a package. Or you can have a private tour of the Neon Museum with Penn and Teller, which is going to cost you a bit.
Man, Westgate needs to do a Evel Knievel suite since they do all these different suites. I think that'd be kind of cool. But no, it's good to see that bits and pieces of the Flamingo are making their way over there. So I'm happy for that. This should be a good fundraiser, for a beloved museum. I do wonder, like, how much more room do they have there? It was pretty tight a couple years ago. I don't know. Are they going to move somewhere else? Can they move somewhere else? I don't know that you could move all those signs easily. So that's my fear. Like, are we getting, as more and more properties are getting redone, or we're talking about the Mirage in a minute, they're probably going to get some stuff from that. Like, where is all this going to go?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they don't have a ton of space there. There has been talks over the years of moving it, so we'll see. But this is their 25th illuminated sign, these pieces from the Flamingo, and that is a cool piece of history. And it's neat to have their 25th sign. We talked, they recently lit up the Tropicana sign that they've had there for a while. So it just keeps getting better. Not only do they have a lot of stuff that's not restored yet, but they keep doing more and bringing more online and more signs around downtown Las Vegas and everywhere else. So yeah, what a treasure the Neon Museum is for the city.
Just don't get drunk at the Container Store before you walk over there, okay? That's not a good idea.
The tour guide still hates Mark from our tour a couple years ago. As a reminder, we just launched a new show, 20-minute travel, 20 minutes per episode, miles, points, travel. We celebrate the fun side, show you how to travel for free, discounts on hotels, elite status, status matches, all of that. Check it out at 20-minute travel. We promise you'll enjoy it. So one of the more interesting things over the last few years is online casinos. A handful of states have it legal, where you can gamble online in an app, which is a little nuts to me still, but it is allowed. And some of them have like live action gaming where you're gambling online, but there's a real dealer and it's happening in a real casino. And it seems like MGM might be moving towards that. The Vegas Vice posted a picture of a roulette wheel with all the cameras and everything, saying that MGM is doing an online gambling program.
They have that in Michigan as far as what you were discussing. And it's like kind of like a back room type of setup. Like, there's no players sitting there or anything like that. It's just set up for this type of thing, and then you're on there. One place will have the cards and it'll work at multiple casinos. So it's not like this is only MGM's dealer. It's like a dealer for this company that farms out to like 3 different casinos. So you could be sitting at the same table at multiple casinos. It's interesting that they would bring it inside. What I would like to see is that I could make a bet from my phone while I'm in the casino, while other people, I hate walking up to a roulette wheel, let's say, and it's full, but I want to make a bet on it. Like, if you could just do that on your phone and then watch it still, that'd be really cool.
Yeah, it kind of opens your eyes up to what the future is of gaming. And we already know online casinos and apps, and that makes a lot of sense. But you're right, like delivering experiences, because the laws may vary in states, but in a state like Nevada where you have to be in the casino, if you're physically in the casino, could you use your phone to make other bets? Could you do this? Could, obviously this would save them on labor too, if they could have one dealer and, broadcast it to all their casinos. So there's some different interesting angles here, but technology is going to continue to integrate itself in the casino. That's for sure.
Yeah, I think it adds to the experience, gives you more opportunity, but it also adds to the risk and the dark side of gambling for people, which isn't always a good thing. So you got to kind of balance the two.
So while we're on the subject of MGM, another flooding video came out this week, and then we have so many flooding videos. I'm beginning to think that every building in Las Vegas just floods all the time. But what was interesting about this was the water was coming from the room above, so somebody probably left their bathtub on, or who knows what was going on. But when you started reading the comments on this Twitter or X thread, it's happened to so many people. So many people have had their rooms flooded at MGM Grand. It's sort of crazy.
Yeah, and it doesn't seem like they do a whole lot. Like one person said they got the resort fee waived, which, I mean, come on, that fee kind of sucks as it is. That's like the bare minimum you should do. And if you have like water flowing down on your belongings and stuff, it could just ruin a whole trip. And it's not something you want to deal with. And you've gone to the Atlantis and broke a tank and made it flood so that you could get a free room. So these people deserve free room too, Sean.
I mean, what's with the front desk staff not giving free crap for flooded rooms and blaming? I think somebody even said that they inspected the room at MGM Grand, somebody who had happened to before, to see if they had damaged something. So they were in the same position as I was at Atlantis. Don't accuse the guests of flooding a room before you investigate, because it's probably not the guests. It's probably your aging, decrepit building.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Like if there's this many people are reporting it, it's a problem. So yeah, it's sending a security guard up to verify. I mean, do it like after the fact, move them, and then do it on the sly. Don't be like, well, let us come look at it. Make sure you didn't bang something to try to get this free room. Oh, here's your $40 resort fee back. Enjoy.
All right, I know you're waiting for this story. F1 is trying to move tickets, and this week or
No,
through
not
May
this one.
28th. If you buy a ticket, so starting at 150 for the cheapest, off race, I think it just practice ticket to, 1500 up to 10,000, whatever it is, you can get a Vegas sequined jacket for F1. This is a limited edition, one of a kind. If you weren't buying a ticket yet, I know you're doing it now.
Yeah, I mean, who doesn't want a sequin jacket? It's like the king of douchiness. I'm sorry. Can I say that on the? I don't know, but. If you're throwing in this jacket to sell tickets, that's probably not a great sign. Like you think that you'd just be selling tickets pretty well to begin with, and with how successful it was in that respect last year. So I don't know what this says about F1, but yeah, it's not moving the needle for me.
And it's through May 24th, so I'll correct myself from earlier. So buy your jacket, your ticket now, so you get that. I mean, this is gonna be the cool club on the F1 race. The people with the sequin bomber jackets, they're all gonna know that you bought it early, and I would wear mine for sure.
I'll get you one. You got to wear it for the show. How about that?
No deal. So let's go to Sunset Station. And we talked when they announced their new sportsbook last year, sometime or earlier this year. It's finally opened as of Thursday, May 16th, and it has a 152-foot LED wall. They posted this drone shot. What's really interesting is the carpet looks almost the same as Durango, except it's red instead of green, but the same pattern that you have at Durango. Very Durango-esque, very beautiful. I mean, this is a great sports book.
Yeah, I mean, it feels, down to the drone video, just like Durango. But that's the first thing I thought when I saw this, when they go in. I'm like, this reminds you of Durango. Maybe not as bright and light, but it gives you the same vibes. And I like that they have a ton of seating, which is always a problem in sports books these days. And I like that they have like the quad chairs around a table and stuff. So something a little bit different than you see normally. And the seating goes all the way back out to the gaming floor and the walkway and all that stuff. So I think it's a great place to go watch a game, make some bets. It looks really good.
Yeah, this just isn't the type of sportsbook you see at a locals casino. And we've talked about how Circa upped the game for everybody. And we have announcements, and there's various sportsbooks coming. And this is a great example of what we're getting. Durango, of course, has a great sportsbook. So Station Casinos gets it. I expect we'll see more of these expanded spaces, more and more casinos, bigger screens, 152-foot LED wall at a locals sportsbook. It's crazy.
Yeah, unless you're Fountain Blue and you just jam it in the back of a restaurant and nobody knows where it is. Perfect.
So the news that we got this week, Mark, is that Mirage is closing forever on July 17th. The hotel is closing July 15th or 14th will be the last night you can stay there. We kind of had whispers of this when Cirque announced Love was ending, and they said that the property would close. And then Joe Lupo went and said, no, we're not closing, because they didn't want to announce it yet. Well, they have announced it now, and all of the employees are getting laid off. A lot of them will get severance packages depending on how long they've worked there. So some of the, especially the culinary union employees will do well. But Hard Rock closing it's not going to reopen until May of 2027.
Yeah, this kind of blew my mind when I saw this. I'm like, wait, I thought they weren't closing. They're going to do this in pieces and all this and kind of keep it open. And we've talked about their status match, and they're giving free meals to people if they had the right status, and really made a drive to bring people in. And we're trying to get locals. And why are you doing all this if you're going to close down for 3 years? Like, you just threw all that money away. I know you got addresses or emails and stuff that you can come back to later, but 3 years later is a world of time. People could change their emails. They might have found another casino that they like better now. It's kind of a crazy, like, I don't think this was the plan, and it just kind of came up on them. I'm sad for the workers, and what in the notes, I think it said 150 first day people from Mirage. So that's really sad. That's a lot of people that have been there from the beginning are going to witness this thing close down. And hopefully they get a severance. I think it's like $2,000 per year and get, paid out, and maybe they can retire. But it's pretty crazy to see that many people that have been there the whole time.
Hard Rock CEO Jim Allen in late 2022 said that they weren't going to close, that they were going to renovate it in phases. But he did say that potentially there could be closures later, depending on what they determine. And it seems like they're determining that this project is too big. The customer experience is going to be bad. It's just not worth it. People aren't going to visit during construction. Having seen Rio and what it's going through in the very early stages of that, I kind of understand this. I mean, it's very hard to renovate a casino when you have all these areas. Of course, this also means the volcano is going to close and the Hard Rock Guitar Tower is going to be there. And according to Las Vegas locally, I didn't see this everywhere else, but the official name of the casino when it reopens will be Hard Rock Hotel and Casino and Guitar Hotel Las Vegas. That's a mouthful, but that's what you're getting in 2027.
I don't think you need the in guitar. I think everybody will realize the guitar's there when they see it. I mean, it's going to take up like the whole strip, but it's a weird name. Hopefully they got 3 years to make it better. So we'll see how that goes, and hopefully somebody gets in their ear and fixes that. But yeah, I'm glad I got to check it out when I was there in February. I went back in. It's still a beautiful property in the casino and the common areas. I don't know. The rooms are probably a bit dated. I haven't been in one in a long time, but they probably need some wear. But you think you could keep the casino going or something? I don't know. But yeah, I guess if there's a lot of banging and noise and construction and all of that, you don't want to have people be upset about it. So I can see where it makes sense, but it also, everything they did leading up to this doesn't make sense now.
Yeah, they waited a long time, and 3 years is a long time to close a property. You could build a brand new property in 3 years. So this will be a huge transformation. For people who want to stay there on the last night, I was looking, rates are like $79 for the 14th of July. But if you are a Unity member, they have a special thing with a waive resort fee. So it's like $84 plus tax, $95 all in, and you can stay there on the final night. The Mirage is very historic. Maybe we're all a little history tired from the Tropicana closing and talking about that. But the Mirage was the first mega resort on the Las Vegas Strip, which is very important in the history of Las Vegas. And to see it just go away is, it's sad. I don't know what's the difference between it going away slowly or going away all at once, but it hurts a little bit.
Yeah, it does for sure. And it's unique, and it kind of kicked off this era of Vegas. So always be remembered for that. Now you just have to go to Laughlin and see the sad replica at the Golden Nugget if you want to see the atrium, Sean's favorite.
Yeah, exactly. For a few years at least. The atrium is supposed to stay. So, hopefully the Hard Rock's atrium will reopen in a few years. But until then, you have the Home Depot Garden Center over at the Golden Nugget in Laughlin. And you can go see that. Sad news. Let us know what you guys think. What's your history of the Mirage? The volcano's finally going away. Are you sad about that? Excited about the guitar? Let us know what you think about all of this Mirage news. The other stuff we talked about, South Point Suites, that Flamingo Ball at Neon Museum, the Evel Knievel Museum. Hit us up in the comments. We do 2 shows a week, Tuesdays and Fridays, and we'll be back in a couple days with another show. Thanks so much for watching. Talk to you next time.
Please subscribe if you're not already. We've been stuck at like 1,500 below 50,000 forever now.
Yes, please. Let's get it to 50,000 and we'll do something special, we promise.
Probably.
Hopefully.